but it's really based on the scandal surrounding his death, which to me was a big conspiracy. And you know, I'm gonna talk to so many people that were in his life. I'm talking from family to business associates, people that worked with him, bodyguards, this and that. You're gonna hear it from the horse's mouth, everybody's opinion, everybody's knowledge.
But this got full-blown AIDS in 2 days? Impossible, my nigga. Only thing you can think about, normal sense, is a motherfucker was injected with it.
They got this stuff they get blood from somebody with AIDS, and then they shoot you with it.
Oh, so that seems bad.
That's a slow death.
Yeah.
An Eazy-E thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
Y'all, Eazy-E's daughter just made it clear. Her father didn't die from HIV like we've been told for decades. She's standing 10 toes down on the claim that he was murdered, and she's not treating it like some internet rumor either. Back in 2021, Ebie Wright dropped a whole docuseries digging into her dad's final days and the stuff she uncovered. It basically says the official story was a cover-up. Think about it. 1 minute Eazy was being his normal cocky self. The next he's being rushed into the hospital and told he has full-blown AIDS. Then, just weeks later, he's gone. It all happened way too fast, and the people closest to him couldn't wrap their heads around it. And here's where it gets even messier. From Suge Knight going on national TV and basically bragging about how easy it is to infect someone with tainted blood, to whispers about the FBI and even extremist groups targeting him, there's always been way too much smoke around Eazy's death to believe there wasn't a fire. So now, when his own daughter comes out and says flat out that her father's HIV diagnosis was fake, it's not just some fan theory anymore. It's personal. It's family. And if she's right, then the truth about Eazy-E's death is way more sinister than anyone wanted to admit. Now, before we even talk about all the wild theories, we gotta look at the actual timeline. Because honestly, the way Eazy went from being fine to being gone doesn't make sense. In January of 1995, he was dealing with what people thought was just a cough. By February, doctors told him he was HIV positive, and then by March, just weeks later, he was pronounced dead from full-blown AIDS. That's not the usual way this disease works. Bone Thugs and Harmony, who had just signed with Ruthless Records, were around him a lot during that time, and they've said straight up that nothing about Eazy looked off. He wasn't wasting away, he wasn't acting sick, and he definitely wasn't showing the kind of symptoms people expect when someone's immune system is shutting down. And guys, here's Bone Thugs saying it themselves, they were right there, seeing him every day, and even they thought he looked healthy and solid.
Don't even know you have it.
Right, dude had full-blown AIDS, and he looked like he regular. He was like, still had his weight, still cocky, still looking like a regular dude, and it just came about all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he was wrestling with Big Wish. You know what I'm saying? Like going at it with Big Wish. So the dude was strong, cocky, man, really built like a little tank. You know what I mean? So it's just theories, you know.
Crazy Bone even doubled down, saying Eazy looked like his regular self, still confident, still built like a tank. His personal assistant, who saw him daily, also said there were no signs like lesions or dementia, nothing that would have made people think he was secretly battling late-stage AIDS. That's why when the hospital announced he had full-blown AIDS out of nowhere, it felt off to everyone who knew him. Fans caught on to that timeline too. They couldn't understand how Eazy went from healthy to gone in less than 3 months. And that's exactly what fueled the earliest whispers that something wasn't adding up. Now, as if the timeline wasn't already suspicious, Suge Knight just made it worse. Because years later, he went on Jimmy Kimmel Live and basically laughed about how easy it is to infect someone with blood from an HIV-positive person. He didn't even flinch when he said it, like it was a casual thing people in the industry knew about. And y'all, just watch this. Suge himself sitting there on late night TV, straight up describing it like it's no big deal.
So they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they get blood from somebody with AIDS, and then they shoot you with it.
Oh, so that seems bad.
That's a slow death.
Yeah.
An Eazy-E thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
Way to lighten the mood.
Wow. Well, Suge's terror alert level just went from elevated to high.
Fans couldn't believe what they were watching. Here's a man with a reputation for being ruthless, sitting on national TV, saying straight up that you don't have to shoot someone to take them out, you just inject them, and that's a slow death. And when he referenced Eazy-E while making that point, that's when the whole conspiracy blew up even more. People had already been side-eyeing the official story, But Suge basically confirmed what a lot of people were thinking. Why joke about something that specific unless there's truth to it? And let's be real, Suge wasn't exactly known for holding back or keeping secrets, but the people who were closest to Eazy are the ones who really kept these suspicions alive. Take BG Knockout, for example. He's been vocal for years saying that somebody did something to him, because the speed of that diagnosis doesn't add up. BG even pointed out how he watched other people go through the stages of HIV, and it was nothing like what happened with Eazy. Here's BG himself breaking down why he never believed the official story.
Right before releasing your album is when Eazy-E passed away, right?
He was never sick, bro. That's the whole point. Like he had bronchitis his whole life, so he always had issues.
With him dying so fast, did you feel like it was like foul play?
Sure. We all, when it first happened, naturally we thinking like, this nigga got a gang of bitches. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Like, so naturally we was like, damn, it could be. But then when we start, after we buried him and all that, now you replaying everything in your head. You like, hold the fuck up. One of the G homies' sister he been fucking with for all these years, bro. Still was fucking with her. We went and asked her, she don't got it. He just had a baby, the bitch and the baby don't got it.
Even Lazy Bone had his doubts. He questioned how Eazy could be diagnosed in February, dead by March, and yet none of his kids, none of the women he was with, ever tested positive. And listen to this. Lazy himself laying it out, he wasn't buying it either.
For me personally, I do as well, because even to this day, none of his kids, none of his baby mamas, his mistresses, nobody has came up with HIV or nothing like that. So just rationally thinking, some had to go on.
Yeah, and it's just ironic because I know people can live with HIV for years and look normal and look healthy, but when you're about to die from AIDS, full-blown AIDS, you're gonna look like you're gonna die from AIDS. I've seen people that die from AIDS and they look like they have AIDS.
That detail alone kept the rumors spinning, because if he was really that far gone, wouldn't at least one person close to him have caught it? And if the friends and business partners questioning things wasn't enough, Eazy's own kids took it even further. His son, young Eazy, has been saying for years that his dad was killed, and he didn't hold back on pointing the finger. He straight up called out Suge Knight, tying it back to that interview where Suge bragged about needles. To him, that wasn't a joke. That was Suge telling on himself. Young Eazy even mentioned how his father didn't start showing any signs of being sick until after a studio incident with Suge. That's why when young Eazy doubled down on Instagram saying, "I've always known my pops was killed," it didn't feel like some random conspiracy. It felt like the family was finally saying out loud what everybody else had been whispering for decades. And if the family believing it wasn't an accident wasn't enough, the government's own files made things look even stranger. Years after Eazy's death, unsealed FBI documents showed he'd actually been targeted by groups making death threats. The reports said the Jewish Defense League was extorting rappers like Eazy and even Tupac, threatening to harm them unless they paid up for protection. Think about what that means. Eazy wasn't just dealing with drama inside the rap game. He was getting heat from people outside of it, people who were willing to play dirty. Kid Frost, who was close to Eazy during those last months, came out years later saying he believed Eazy was taken out with tainted acupuncture needles. Yeah, you heard that right. Not drugs, not a lifestyle thing, but someone deliberately giving him infected needles during a treatment. And y'all, just listen to how he explained it. Frost really believed that's how they got to Eazy.
The needles with acupuncture needles that tainted him and gave it to him because he got hurt in Honda Valley on quad runners, and he was riding quads, and what happened is that someone, I won't say the name, but people know the name. I don't want to say that name because it's the devil's name. But, another person in rap, if you know your history of rap, calls him a devil. So if you know your history in rap or West Coast rap, you'll know who I'm saying. But I was told even in the last conversation from Eazy not to even talk to that man. And not only that, but I think that they really had a stronghold of giving him tainted needles with the AIDS virus in them through acupuncture. Because how else could somebody die that fast to AIDS? Have you even heard of somebody dying in 2 weeks of AIDS, bro? Come on, man. This is unheard of, bro. It was like, I'm in the hospital, I contracted the AIDS virus. 2 weeks later, March 26th or whatever, I fall out and I die.
Frost explained that Eazy trusted the wrong people, and that's how it happened. He said there's no way a man could go from healthy to dead in a matter of weeks from AIDS without somebody speeding it up. And for him, the only explanation was that someone slipped him those bad needles. And Frost wasn't saying it lightly. He claimed he knew exactly who was behind it, even calling that person the devil. without naming names, which of course just made the mystery bigger. Because if you're refusing to say the name out loud, you're basically telling everyone it's somebody with serious power. This theory shook people because it gave a specific way it could have happened. But it doesn't even end there, because decades later, Ice Cube finally decided to speak on the rumors too. For the longest time, he kept quiet whenever people asked about Eazy's death or Suge Knight's possible role in it. But in 2023, during an appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Cube was put on the spot. And for once, he didn't dodge the question. Now, Cube didn't flat out confirm anything, but the way he responded had fans talking. He questioned how something like that would even happen without Eazy knowing. And here's Cube himself adding on to that, giving his take about Eazy and Suge.
And so, last time I seen him alive. And so, it was cool to be able to finally just get all that shit behind us, you know what I'm saying? And laugh and joke and have drinks and, you know, be talking about shit that happened and get a chance to have that time with him before he passed away.
Man, time does really heal all wounds.
It do.
He basically said if someone poked him with a needle, Eazy would have said something right away. At the same time, though, Cube admitted he doesn't put anything past anybody, especially someone like Suge. That little exchange was enough to keep the conspiracy alive. And y'all, this is exactly why people can't stop talking about Eazy's death, because of what was about to go down right before it happened. He had just been on the phone with Dr. Dre, after years of beef, actually talking about bringing NWA back together. Like, do you know how crazy that would have been? The most legendary group in rap squashing the drama and making a comeback. Fans would have eaten that up, and the industry would have been flipped on its head. So when people say his death feels off, it's not just about how fast it happened. It's about what it stopped. If NWA had come back together, it would have shifted the power in rap all over again. And instead, that door slammed shut right when Eazy was finally making peace. That's why almost 30 years later, fans don't buy the official version. To them, it looks less like fate and more like someone made sure that reunion never saw the light of day. And with Eazy's family doubling down instead of moving on, the idea that he was murdered has turned into hip-hop's permanent cold case. It's a story the industry never wanted solved.